Everyone, and welcome to this virtual training class for the Informatica MDM. That's a new MDM product in the market. So this is the first session, the first class for this whole training session. So here we'll cover different topics. The first topic is we'll cover the MDM overview. So here we go. This is the slide. Okay. So basically, this slide consists of these four topics. Okay, the first one being why MDM. Okay, and the second question is why Informatica MDM. See, why MDM? Because you could have anything, like you could have a data warehouse, or you could have a CRM application. Why do you need an MDM application, or why MDM? Okay, and why Informatica MDM? Because certainly there are n number of like MDM softwares in the market. So what does N plus 1 mean? And the third question being how MDM is going to help me. That is how MDM is going to help you. And the fourth question is what is MDM? Okay, so we'll cover all these topics one by one. Going to the first topic, that is why MDM. See, we need to understand what is the significance of MDM. So why do we need to implement MDM? First thing being multiple products. What it means is, see, there are rarely very less companies which are on a single domain. For example, if you consider any successful company in this world, they have invested their money into multiple sectors. Okay, multiple sectors in the sense, if you see a company called as Amazon.com, they have invested in cloud, they have invested in different softwares, dot. And if you see any telecom company, they have invested in mobile, prepaid, postpaid, internet, digital cable, and dot. So rarely you will find an organization that is into a single domain. So what it means for us is, and see, this trend will keep on increasing. That is, suppose there is a company called as XYZ and they have 3 products. So down the line, 2 years down the line, certainly they will have more number of products, that is 5 or 6 products. So this is a strategy that an organization uses to be in the business, okay, to protect themselves from losing revenue. So what it means for us is there will be the number of MDM implementations will rise as a result of this. Okay, so that is why MDM comes into picture, because MDM is nothing but master data. The master data only makes sense when data is stored in different pipes. The more the data is diversified, or the more number of sources you have, the more benefit you are going to get from an MDM product. So multiple products directly means huge number of MDM implementations in future. So that is the first point. And the second point is government norms. What it means is that day by day governments, like you can say US government or any European government, or even in like Indian and African governments, these are making companies, they are asking companies about like what is the total, like they are asking details about the master data. For example, if a company is selling 30 products, then they have to, the organization has to expose this information to the government that yes, this customer has taken this number of products because of security regulations and all that. So what it means is, down the line, lot of companies have to implement MDM. They have to create a master data to meet this need, that is to meet this standard from the government. So that also means that the number of MDM implementations is again going to rise. Okay, so that is the second point. And the third point here is it helps CRM in retaining and fetching new customers. See, that is the creation of MDM is the main purpose of one of the main purposes of creation of an MDM is to support a CRM application. CRM is nothing but customer relationship management. Okay, CRM application. So what a CRM application basically does is it has data, it gets data from an MDM application, it has access to the master data, and based on the master data, it takes decision, it creates different, different strategies, different opportunities through which the organization retains the current customers and it fetches new customers. because retaining and fetching new customers, these are the two main key points for any organization to grow. Okay, if you are losing customers, it means you cannot be in business for a long time. You will be out of business. Okay, main thing is retaining customers and fetching new customers. That is something a CRM application does. Okay, but if it does not have access to master data, or if the master data is not proper, then the CRM application will not work properly. Okay, so that is why, again, wherever CRM is implemented, MDM is a must. Okay, and again, the below point that helps the data warehouse and reporting applications. So the same thing goes here. So it helps data warehouse in calculating the revenue properly and in eliminating the duplicates. Okay, and in reporting applications also it helps. Reporting application in the sense, let's consider a company X, Amazon.com. Let's consider another company, that is Amazon. Okay, Amazon.com and Amazon are actually two same companies. Let's say the revenue for Amazon.com is $100 million and the revenue for Amazon is $200 million. So if you do not have an MDM, the software will not be able to recognize that Amazon and Amazon.com are actually the same company. So it will calculate the revenue separately. But we know that Amazon.com and Amazon are actually the same company. So the revenue should have been calculated as a combined company. So what happens as a result of this is we are again losing business. Okay, so if you have an MDM application, then it definitely helps data warehouses and reporting applications. So down the line, all the companies that have implemented data warehouses and reporting applications will have to implement MDM. You have to implement it. Okay, so and the fifth point is stopping communication for diseased individuals. So if someone, let's assume Mr. Amit, he died 3 months back, okay, and he has taken some products from your company. So what happens is you still keep on sending emails and advertisements and offers, all that. But because the reason being, you do not know actually that he is not alive anymore. He is dead. Okay. So this is actually a bad thing and kind of violation itself. Okay. You should not do that. But you are unable to identify that because you do not have access to their database, or you can say you do not have the master data. Suppose if you have master data, then this could have easily been prevented. How that is done is you have to access this database of dead individuals or expired individuals, and then that database needs to be integrated with the MDM, with your MDM. Once that is done, then you will be able to identify those individuals who are not alive anymore, and you can stop sending emails to them. Okay, so this is about why MDM. Okay, now we'll move ahead to the next topic. Now, as we know already why MDM, what is the importance of MDM, then it's easier for us to understand why Informatica MDM. See, the thing here is, there are, if I start counting, there will be more than 30-40 types of MDM products, or unofficially there will be more than 100 plus MDM products in the market. So what does this 100 plus 1, that is the N plus 1 software, that is Informatica MDM, that is new into the market, means? Okay, so is it like the same software that is currently there in market, like Siebel MDM or SAP MDM, anything? No, this is something different. So I'll tell you the points why Informatica MDM is different and why Informatica MDM is going to grow in future and will be the number one MDM provider in the market. The first point is, see, Informatica Corporation is the only organization, only vendor that provides all the three softwares. That is software for data integration, that is say Power Center, that is the software for data integration, data quality, Power Center Developer, that is the product for data quality, and MDM, that is nothing but the MDM Hub or MRM, or that is the multi-domain or multi-registry edition that Informatica provides. So this is the only company, because if you see IBM, they provide many solutions. If you see SAP, they provide many solutions, but no other company in this whole world provides all these three solutions together. So what it means for us is, see, data integration, data quality, and MDM are related actually. Okay, so we'll be able to exploit the the features. So when we are using MDM, we'll be able to exploit the features of data integration, data quality, okay? So that will help us to create a robust data model. Definitely there is no doubt about that. So for example, like we can use cleansing features of data integration, or we could do pre-data integration before the data enters into the MDM solution. There are a lot of things. Or we could land data directly. We could cleanse, we could analyze, we could profile the data and land the data directly to the staging table. That could also improve performance. So if you have all these three products together, you have n number of methods of improving performance and creating a better system. So definitely the first point makes sense and it will really help an organization. Now coming to scaling. What is scaling? Okay, scaling basically means it's a horizontal scaling or the like vertical scaling, any kind of thing. Okay, so Informatica provides supports to both kind of scaling. One example will be, see, let's consider an Informatica implementation where the hub server, okay, the hub server lies in California, US, and the you can say the match server lies in Singapore, and your master database lies in India, and your ORS database lies in Bangladesh. Okay, so that is possible, and together these four different components will combine to create one solution. That is the Informatica Hub Console. That is possible. So you can extend the software like anything without decreasing the performance. The main thing here is without decreasing the performance, unlike other MDM softwares. Okay. Now the third point, coming to the third point, that is robust matching engine. What does it mean, robust matching engine? See, the matching engine is the most important part. You can say that is the heart of any MDM software. Any MDM software, not just Informatica MDM. So here, Informatica Corporation, they have enhanced the matching engine to the highest level. It has the ability to work on many different populations, like it can work with US population, or Indian population, or European population, because and also, suppose if your data is distributed in US as well as in Europe, then you can use the combined dictionary. That is, you can use the combined dictionary that will help you to create proper matches. Let's say there are 50 instances of a particular customer. There are 50 instances of Mr. XYZ. Okay, let's consider in a corporation. So if you have a proper robust matching engine, then your matching engine will be able to identify all the instances of this customer. That is, it will be able to identify that Mr. XYZ, this is Mr. XYZ, and he is present in all these 50 source systems, and then he'll create a unique record. Your matching engine should be able to create the unique record. That is the master record we are calling it. So if your matching engine is weak, what will happen is 30 customers, 30 instances of Mr. XYZ will be calculated, one unique record will be created for the 30 customers, and another unique record will be created for 20 customers, which is wrong. But Informatica MDM does it in a very nice manner. So that is something that is really good. Now coming to the last point, that is Informatica Corporation's investment in Cyperion. I do not know if you already know about the history of this Informatica MDM software. I'll tell you in brief. See, previously it was known as Cyperion Corporation. The acquisition happened, like Informatica acquired this corporation in 2010. Actually, it started in 2009 and this thing finished in 2010. So from 2010 to 2015, they have developed a lot of things. They have invested, you can say, millions and millions of dollars here in this product. They keep on enhancing this product. So you can say they have given real importance to this product. What it means for us is, day by day, the marketing strategy for this product is going to increase. Okay, and the number of features and the versioning, everything is going to increase. It means this software, definitely for next 10 years, no one can stop this software into exploding into the market. That is for sure. Okay. Now why MDM? I have already explained. Let's move to the next slide. That is how MDM is going to help me, or that is how MDM is going to help you guys, or how MDM is going to help anyone who is looking for a good career opportunity, who is looking for a good growth in IT. Okay, I think I've already covered these two things, but anyway, I'll just brief it again. So see, the total number of MDM implementations will rise. The reason being multiple products that I've already explained. Another reason being the government norms, and there are a lot of other reasons why MDM implementations will rise. What it means for us is when the number of MDM implementation rises, so it will create huge growth, huge job opportunity for people who know MDM, especially who know Informatica MDM. So definitely this is going to help you. This will help you in your career growth. There is no doubt about that. And second point, I do not need to explain. It will create a high demand. That is the same as the first point. Okay. So moving to the next slide, that is what is MDM. So already you know now what is the importance of MDM and Informatica MDM and all that. Now let's I'll just brief it. What is MDM? See, the full form of MDM is Master Data Management. That is, management of master data is known as Master MDM. That is Master Data Management. Now, first of all, to understand how to manage master data, we must understand what is master data. And to understand what is master data, we need to understand what is data. So, I think all of you guys know what is data, but I'll just give you a brief. See, everything that you see in this whole world is information, or what you call as data. Everything that you see in the whole world. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you take your breakfast. Everything that you do, everything that happens in this whole world is data. And if you are collecting it in the diary, it means that is something usable data. Okay, so we are not interested about all this kind of data. What we are interested is data that will help a customer, that will help an organization to grow, that will help an organization to grow into diverse areas, or that will increase their revenue. So we are actually talking about RDBMS data that is stored in different tables. Okay, basically we are talking about account data or product data or contact data. Okay, or customer data, any kind of data that is related to a particular sector. So what data will contain, like product data or account data, what it contains? Information about products, product ID, like product name, product code, product type, and all that. Similarly, customer information will contain information about the customer, that is the first name, last name, middle name, date of birth, gender, and all that. And there will be relations. So that is all about data. Now, what is master data? Master data means, see, master data only makes sense if an organization has multiple products. And nowadays, every organization has multiple products. So, what master data means is, see, let's assume an organization called as XYZ, okay, and that has 200 different types of products. It will mean that there are 200 different databases, source systems, where the information about 200 different customers or 200 different products are stored. Okay, so now you have 200 different types of database. Okay, where information about 200 information is stored about 200 different customers, or you can say products, anything. Okay, so let's assume Mr. Amit Sharma. Okay, anyone. So let's assume Mr. Amit Sharma. He's present in 3 different databases: database A, database B, and database C. So now, what is master data here? Master data is a 360-degree view of the customer. 360-degree view of the customer means it's a single record. We need to create single record out of these 3 records that will contain correct information from all of this, that is the correct attributes. For example, if the name in one database, his name is Amit Sharma, another name is Amit, and another name is Amit K. Actually, all of these are same customers. So master data is something that you identify this and you create a record called as Amit Sharma, because Amit Sharma is the trustworthy record. Okay. So another example here will be, let's assume there are 200 products. Okay, and let's assume a customer is present in 50 different databases. Now, what is master data here? Master data here is you need to create one record. Okay, you need to create one record, and you need to merge all the 50 instances of the same customer. I'll not say duplicates because they are the same instances of the customer. The name will be different. You have to store the proper name. Okay, and the whole logic, the way how it is done is, that is called as the master data management. That is the master data management. How you create the master data, how you match the data, that is either fuzzy matching or exact matching, any kind of logic that we use to identify different instances of the same customer and to merge them. That is nothing but the master data management. So I hope you understood this slide, and moreover this slide was basically about functional point of view, was from a functional point of view. So now we'll move ahead to the next slide, that is, see, this is the finished end of this slide. Okay, we'll go to the next slide, that is, this is somewhat technical, or you can say this is from the architecture point of view. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just starting this. Now, see, I have already explained you in the previous slide what is why MDM and why Informatica MDM and what is the significance and all that. Okay, now here we'll try to understand from the architecture point of view how Informatica MDM works. Okay, so as you can see here, on the left hand side you can see here, see these operational systems and third-party data, and you see something from in the right hand side. See, this is where the data enters. This, where I'm pointing the mouse, this is where the data enters, and this is where the data exits. So these are all the source systems, and these are all the subscribers, that is the downstream applications. And this square that you are seeing, the kind of square that I'm pointing, okay, that is nothing but the MDM hub. Okay, Informatica MDM hub. Now I'll explain you. See, these are the third-party systems. I have already explained, like given an example, if there are 200 different source, like 200 different products, then you have approximately 200 different source systems. So these are nothing but those 200 source systems. Okay, these are all different source systems. Some are in Siebel, some are in Oracle database, some are SAP and all that, Axiom and DNB and all that. Okay, now they will send data to MDM hub through real-time interface or through batch interface. There are two options, or through near real-time interface. So if they are doing it through an batch, then that will be through an ETL tool, extract transformation load tool, and if they are doing it real-time, then it will be EAI, Enterprise Application Interface. Okay, so these are the two methods through which MDM hub will receive data from the external parties. Okay, and the same goes for here also. Okay, the same thing that whatever I have explained, how the data is entering here, this is how the data exits here, through either ESB or EAI or ETL in case of a batch interface. And the downstream applications being data warehouse, or you can say an CRM application, or business intelligence, or the data mart. It could be anything who is interested in that MDM, master data. And the real surprising thing is everyone is interested in a master data. There is no doubt about that. Now I'll explain what is there in this square. That is what is there in the Informatica MDM hub. See, I'm pointing the mouse here. You can see this is where this is the beginning. Okay, this is where everything starts. So we'll assume that the data is already there in our landing tables. Okay, so what will happen here is you cleanse the data now. Going here, you need to cleanse the data. Okay, so cleansing means standardization and all that. Okay, that you need to do, and you need to enrich it. Enrich in the sense any kind of lookups. For example, from source, the value is coming as IND, that is the country code is IND, and you need to convert it to India, INDIA. So you could do that. That is one example of enrichment. Okay. Now coming to matching. See, once enrichment is done, then you need to match. For example, if there are 50 instances of the same customer, for example, Mr. John is present in 50 different databases, then you need to match those 50 different records here. And here, the engine will identify this, that yes, all these are same customer. Okay, once that is done, then you need to go here. That is, you need to merge those customers. Okay, you need to either merge them or you need to link them. Link is nothing but it's a logical merging. It's a logical, not physical. Okay, so once you merge it, here you will have only one version of the truth. That is, you will have only one data. You will have only one John here, whereas here we had 20 different types of John. Here we have only one John, and that is the unique version of the truth, or you can say the best version of the truth that will contain the correct information from that will be that will contain the correct information from all the 50 different sources. Okay, now once we are here, it means that we have already created the master data. Now our responsibility is to relate the master data. That is, how do you relate? Let's assume an employee table. Okay, so that employee table, let's assume it contains information about Amit Sharma and Vipul Sharma, and Vipul Sharma is the manager of Amit Sharma. Okay, so how will you identify them? You need another relation table that will state that yes, this ID, that is Amit ID, and his manager's ID, that is Vipul Sharma's ID, they are related to each other as manager, or you can say Amit is related to Vineet as manager, and the vice versa will be employee of. That is nothing but the relationship. So you need to create the relationship hierarchy and all that. And I think it is almost mandatory for all the corporations, because all the corporations will definitely have hierarchical data. So once that is done, now we move to the next step, that is data steward. What is data steward? The meaning of steward in English is expert. It means data steward means he is a person, okay, who is expert in the data. Who is expert in the data means he knows everything about the data, not just the data model or something. He knows literally everything. He knows these are the people and all that. He will really help you in setting the matching rules properly, and if something is going on, something is going incorrect in your ending, he will be able to identify. Let's assume 50 from 50 John is present in 50 different sources. So let's assume what is happening currently in MDM is 30 different Johns were identified as one, and another 20 different John were identified as one, and now you have two master records. Okay, so it is the responsibility of the data steward to identify that you have two master records, which is wrong, because only one master record should have been there, and he should work hand to hand, soldier to soldier with the developer to identify those kind of information and to correct it, and the developer will set the match rules accordingly, so that you can identify this information, and accordingly you can merge those two duplicate records. And this is nothing about the security, which is like common for all the softwares. Now once that is done, this is synchronization and notify. That is nothing but this thing, this layer, where the data is communicated to external parties through an enterprise service bus or an EAI or through ETL. Okay, now we move to the next slide. See, this is again Informatica Hub architecture from a different point of view. So here we see this is this is something you can say it's a three-tiered architecture. So Informatica is implemented as a three-tiered architecture. On the lowest level you see something, this is hub server, that is nothing but the database server, the database layer. Okay, and here you see hub server and cleanse match server, that is nothing but the application server layer. Okay, and here this is the main layer, the graphical layer on which you will be able to access and you will work. Okay, this is the main layer. So let's try to understand one by one. Okay, so the first and the most important layer, or this is the first layer that you need to create, that is the hub store. What is hub store? Hub store is nothing but it is a database. When I say database, it's a schema in the database. The schema like Scott, System, Tiger. So this is a schema. By default, the name is CMX_ORS. That is the master database. Okay, and this ORS is operational relational reference store. That is the name, and this is also similar to master database. When I say similar, it means this is also a schema in the Oracle database. Okay, now what master database is or what it contains. So when I say schema, so that will contain tables. Okay, and that tables are basically that will contain information about the users, the number of ORS's databases, and the message queues, SIP, and all those kind of system information will be there in the master database. that will be necessary for an administrator basically. You will, a developer or an architect will rarely work with a master database. But coming to the ORS, okay, this is the important thing. ORS, so when I speak of MDM, that is multi-domain mode. The default edition is multi-domain. So this is what is multi-domain. This first one is customer, second one is product, and third one is location. Most of the software will come pre-configured with the domain. Okay, that is finance domain, telecom domain, and all that. But MDM is something different. Multi-domain edition is different. You can configure any domain you want. So let's assume here if we have configured the customer domain, so customer domain ORS, what it contains? An ORS is nothing but it's a schema in the database. So it's a schema in the Oracle database. If we are using Oracle database, so what it will contain? It will contain 300 plus tables and plus more tables if you are created more base tables. So what is base table? Base table is something that stores the master data. So customer ORS, this will contain all your master data that you created. Let's assume you have 15 different tables or 50 different tables in 50 different master data tables. Then all those table information will be stored here. All the lending tables, all the staging tables, or it means all the things that you create, all the things that you use, everything, every information will be stored in this operational reference store. So that is the reason why this tool is really very important. Okay, now and I'll not explain about product and location because this is similar to customer. The only thing being this is a separate domain and this is a separate domain. This is just an example. Okay, so now I've already explained you about this layer, that is the database layer. Now coming to this application server layer, here hub server, MRM, hierarchy manager, activity manager, and cleanse web server. What are all these? These are actually separate applications, separate processes that are implemented on the top of an application server. Okay, and by default Informatica supports 3 different types of application server. One is JBoss, that is from Red Hat Corporation. Another one is WebLogic, that is from Oracle Corporation, and another one is WebSphere from IBM Corporation. You could implement any of these web server, and then you have to deploy your hub server on the top of that application server. Once you do that, then everything will start working. That is a part of the installation process. So this is the second layer, that is the application layer, and this is nothing but the main layer where you access the tool, where you access the data steward, where you access the Informatica data director tool, admin, and everything. Okay, this is all the main tool. And here something you see, just one second. Yeah, here you see SIF. The full form of SIF is Services Integration Framework. So SIF is an important protocol, or you can say something through which external applications will be able to communicate with MDM. When I say communicate means, let's assume if an external software wants to insert customer records through, like not manually, through automatically, through real time. Okay, and suppose it wants to update a customer record, or it wants some information, anything, any kind of operation it wants to do from an external application. For all those things, you need SIF, that is the Services Integration Framework. And SIF is an important component that will help other applications will integrate easily with MDM with the help of SIF. Now coming to the next slide. Here you go. I think I've already explained this in a different manner, but again I'll explain. This is again a part of architecture, but on a detailed level. Okay, this is on a detailed level, and if you understand this flow, you are done with 20% of complete MDM, because this is the main part of it. Okay, so here, see, this is the batch data process flow, and this is the real-time data process flow. The only difference here is, here the communication protocol is different, and here the communication protocol is different. Okay, so see, the red color, something that you are seeing actually here, these are nothing but the source systems. So when I'm explaining the previous example, so if there are 50 different source systems, you will have 50 different red dots here. So let's assume there are 50 different red dots here. So this is external to MDM. Now this hexagon that you're seeing, here, that is nothing but the Informatica MDM. Okay, and the landing is the first thing. This is the entry gate, you can say. This is the entry gate, and this is the exit gate. Okay, this is where everything starts. This is where everything ends for MDM. And if you are an MDM resource, then you should be concerned only about this hexagon, not before that and not after that. So data needs to be loaded into the landing tables. What are landing tables? Landing tables are simple truncated load operation tables. Okay, so if there are 50 different source systems, then all the 50 different source system data needs to be loaded to a landing table. And the landing table is a table in Oracle database that should not be created directly in the Oracle, that should be created through Informatica MDM Hub application. So let's assume you have created the table. Now you need to load all the 50 different source system data into this landing table. Now let's assume that you are done with this, and this landing table contains information for all the 50 different customers, 50 different source systems. Okay, once that is done, then we need to move the data from this landing table into the staging tables. Now what are staging tables? And what is the difference between it? How staging table is different from a landing table? Okay, see, again, staging table is also a temporary table. It does not contain data permanently. You do not store permanent data here. So the only difference here is this is on a source by source basis. So here it's a single table for all the 50 different sources. But here you will have 50 different staging tables if you have 50 sources. If you have 100 sources, then you need to create 100 different source tables here. Okay, and then you need to load the data. So when you load the data from the landing to the staging table, it could be a simple one-to-one load, or it could be complex, that is, it could involve cleansing. We call that as data cleansing. When you cleanse the data, cleansing means standardization, like using concatenation or string functions, like ASCII or substring, or if you want to do any to-char, to-date, any kind of conversion, or you want to do any kind of standardization that you want to do, that you can do it here in the cleansing operation. And there's another beautiful feature here, delta detection. Normally, very less software come with this technique, delta detection. So this is built into the heart of it. So you can simply, if you click the mouse, if you select the option, then you can start using this option. Delta detection means only the recent records will be considered. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So these two processes. Okay, now let's assume, and you see something here that is raw and reject. What raw means is, raw is storing the source data for certain amount of load or certain amount of time. Okay, this is nothing but the source data. We store it for some amount of time. That is the raw. And reject means, let's assume if your data is invalid while you are loading from landing to stable, landing to staging, there are the translation errors, that is data translation errors, conversion errors, null errors, or any duplicates, or the null, what you can say, invalid or null primary key. All these kind of rejects will be stored in this reject table. Okay, now we are coming to the real thing. This is, here you go, this is the base object. Here it has written that address. Okay, so he's talking about now address base table. Now what is base object? Base object in Informatica Hub means that is the master. It contains the master data information. That is the base object, and that is the most important thing. That is really important. See, these they contain only temporary data, and this contains data for years and years, and you have all the master data stored here. Okay, so loading from staging to a base table is one-to-one, no cleansing, nothing is involved. You need to simply load one-to-one. That is, when you use the tool, you automatically load the data here. So once you load the data, now let's assume there are 50 instances of the customer. Now all the 50 instances of the customer records were loaded here. See, when we are talking 50 different instances, now actually one record should have been loaded, but that will happen in future. I'll explain. See how that happens. Now, if there are 50 different sources, 50 different instances of the customer, you have 50, let's assume John, okay, and he is present in 50 different sources. So there will be 50 different John records here as of now. Now, we'll go to the matching process where all these 50 different records will match with each other, and the software will identify that all these are actually the same customer. Okay, once that is done, the flags will change, everything. Now, as the software has already identified that all these are same customers and they need to be merged, now we go to the next step. The next step is auto merge or manual merge. What is auto merge and what is manual merge? Auto merge is something, if you have flagged it for auto merge, then automatically all the 50 records will be merged and one unique version, that is one unique master data will be created. And manual merge is something, if you are not sure that all the 50 instances of the same are actually the same customer, then you send it for manual merge. A data steward will verify the data, and if he finds that yes, all these customers are same, then he will do the manual merge. That is, he will manually merge all these records. Now we are coming to the end of this process. Okay, this is almost the end of the process. Now we communicate this thing, whatever changes we are doing. See, if you have inserted new records into the base object, or you have updated records to the base object, you have done any change to your base object tables, that thing needs to be communicated to external parties. And this is the final step, that is done through a JAMS, that is Java Messaging Service. And that is, and data will be consumed from this JMS queue through an EAI, through that will be either TIBCO or anything, TIBCO or Oracle SOA. And in the batch mode, it will be communicated through, see, all these base object tables will be loaded to a different schema, and then views will be created on the top of all these base objects, depending upon the needs to be joined, or depending upon the client requirement and all that. And that views and tables, all that will be exposed to external parties, and they will extract data in batch mode from all these tables. So that is, this is the beginning, this is the middle, and this is the end. And I think I have already explained all of this. I hope you are clear with this. So we'll move to the next slide. I have already said this is similar to this slide, only thing being it's a real time. Now, see, this is also the same thing, but from a different angle. Here you see landing, then staging, then stage, then load, then tokenize, then match, then consolidate, then publish. This is the beginning of this process, and this is the end of this process. The previous slide has explained all of this, okay? And this is it. See, landing to stage. This is where data needs to be cleansed and needs to be loaded. And first of all, you need to use an ETL tool to load data to an ETL. And then there are cleanse functions from land to staging, and stage to load is a direct one-to-one load, and load then tokenize. That's an internal process where data will be tokenized, and based on the token key or the fuzzy key that you have chosen, and then from tokenize to match. So here these two are the important processes that will help us to identify different instances of the same customer. This is the main engine, this is the main heart of an MDM process, that is tokenize and match. And consolidation is nothing but merge. I have already explained what is merge. That is the meaning of when I say consolidate, that it means merge, and publish means publishing data to external parties. So installation is something that is a bit complicated for this, so I think I'll cover this installation in another video, so I'm skipping this here. Just to give you a high level overview, like see, I have already explained here, like as I said, when the software can be scalable, highly scalable. As you can see here, the application server here is in machine A in some location, the cleanse engine and the cleanse match server is in machine B, and the host and the database server is in machine C, and the ORS database is in machine D. See, all these are physical machines that could be located anywhere in this world, and that together they'll constitute one MDM implementation. So that is nothing but Informatica MDM scaling. And this, coming to this slide, this is how the tool looks like, right? See, if you are seeing the tool for the first time, this is how the tool looks like. And what advantage here is, see, normally other softwares will have multiple things, like for example, they'll have multiple tools. Let's assume Informatica Power Center, it has more than 4 types of tools, and you can say a lot of tools. There is a separate admin tool. If you want to migrate code, then there is a tool. If you want to develop things, there is a separate tool. If you want to do administration, there is a separate tool for that. All that. We, that is complicated. But here, things are simple. If you are an administrator, even if you are a developer, even if you are an architect or a business user or any person in this world, even if you are the CEO and you want some information, you need to access to this tool. And this is the only tool, right? This is the only tool. There is no other tool. Okay? There are other tools like IDD and all that, but this is the most important and the only tool you can say. Okay? And this is how it looks like. Okay? This you can say the workbenches here. Okay? Yeah, these are mostly from admin point of view and all that. Okay, I think if I have time, then I will just show you how it looks like. Just see here. Yeah, this is how you launch the application. This is how you launch the tool and all that. See, let me try to open the application. I do not know if the services are up or not. Okay, looks like it is up. So this is the tool, Informatica MDM tool. This is the version 10 tool. Okay, and if you click this, then it will ask you to launch again LP file. So I have already configured this again LP file. Oh, sorry. See, as you can see here, I have already stored this JNLP file and I'm calling it locally. So if I double click this, now the tool is launched. Just a second, it looks like it's a bit slow. Okay, here we go. I log in with the default credentials now. Okay, see, now he's asking me to choose the database. So this is the master database and this is the ORS database. Okay, let's check the ORS database. I selected the ORS database. Now this is it. These are all the options. These are all admin point of view. Databases means it contains information about different ORSs. Users means user information. Security providers are nothing but external security providers like LDAP and all that. This is tool access. This is the part of admin where you provide access to different users, tool access to different users. This is the messaging queue that I talked about. That is the JMS, Java Messaging Service. You will configure JMS here. Repository manager, that was previously metadata manager, is repository manager in Informatica 10 version. What it does is you can migrate data from you can migrate code from one environment to other using this tool. Now coming to the enterprise manager. See, for all this information you need to connect to the master database. Enterprise information contains information, admin information. See, process servers, how many ORS databases are there, environment report, and all that admin information. Workflow manager is something that is of no use for us because it's only useful for state management implementations. This is schema that will contain information about all the base objects that is only useful if you have ORS database. See, these are the base objects that I already talked about. These are the landing tables. These are the landing tables. Now you can see the schema or the data model here. So this will be a bit slow. Okay, this is on a high level basis. This is what it looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is the schema. This is the data model that was created for this. Okay, this is a sample data model. Now this is systems and trust that will contain information about different sources. If I have see now These are all the source systems that I have configured. So that is the reason why I am able to see this. And this is where trust is configured. Trust is a complex feature that cannot be covered now, but this is where you see trust is configured on column by column basis. See, trust is something that is configured on a column by column basis, not on a table basis. And you have queries, you have different packages. Queries and packages are very simple. Package is nothing but a view in an, you can relate a package to an Oracle view. Okay. Cleanse functions, I have already talked about cleansing feature. So this is all the cleanse functions, address doctor, and all the custom functions. This is the string function that I talked about, that is substring, or you could use concatenate, any other things, left lpad, rpad, regular expressions, all that. Now these are mappings. See, I'll show you sample mapping. This is how it looks like. This is the landing table, and this is the staging table, and these are all like functions, concatenation. This is the constant function, this is the trim function, and all that. Now coming to the hierarchies. Sometimes it will get a bit slower. Okay, see, these are all the hierarchy options. I already talked about relationships, like from product. Let's see these relationships. Let's check out these relationships. So product relation, like product, the relationship between product group and product, that is parent of, and product group and product, that is. So this is nothing but the relationship. I have explained the relationship between the, like employee of or manager of. So all these similar things. This is also similar. Okay, this information. How do you relate one table to another table? All this information is stored here. Now hierarchies. Normally you have one hierarchy, but here we have configured hierarchy for a separate hierarchy for a customer, separate for product, separate for ODI. Hierarchy is the main thing on the top of which all this tool works. Okay, all the hierarchy components work. Okay, and entity objects are nothing but accounts, party, product, and all the different separate sectors or separate entity groups, and you create entities. For example, here you see a party that contains information about organization and a person, and you see account that contains information about the credit card, and the product that contains information about account, product, and product group, and all that. And this is what we can call as SAM here. It is these are all admin, from admin point of view, security access manager, what we call here. So secure resources, roles, user groups, these are all nothing but to how do you manage the users, how do you give access to the users, how do the all authorization, and all that will be configured here. Okay, and here you have something called as the data steward. Data steward, what is a data steward? I have already explained. So basically data manager tool, merge manager, history, hierarchy manager. See, there is a separate video I have created for data manager and merge manager. You can check out that video. Okay, and now you have utilities. This is nothing but the batch group, and this is the batch viewer. This is where you run the process. For example, see, let's say you want to auto merge data. So this is where you do it. If you run this job, if I say execute batch, then the records will be merged. And batch group is nothing but combining different operations, different types of jobs into a particular group. And basically this is how it looks like, start to end. This is how it looks like. Okay, these are all one-to-one jobs, from landing to stage and all that. And this is information about the process server that we have already said that can be configured either in the same machine, or it could be configured in a separate machine. So this is audit manager. In case if you have enabled auditing, then you will be able to see this option. And this is nothing but the SIF manager. I've already explained it to you. What is SIF? SIF is nothing but services integration framework, and here you need to configure this. Once you configure this, then only SIF will work. Now you have user objects. That is, if you want to use Java cleanse functions, if you have a separate jar file and you want to that does the cleansing, and if you want to upload it, you can easily do that here. Okay, if you take the log, then you can easily do it here. Okay, and these are user exits. Previously, user exits were implemented as PL SQL procedures. Now, if you want to implement user exits, then you have to do it in Java. Let's say you need to upload this user exit jar file. Previously you could do it through an EL SQL, but now it is not possible through EL SQL. Now custom button functions, if you want to enhance the look, how it looks like and all that, then you need to upload it here, then custom store procedures, all this information, okay? So I roughly explained it to you how the tool works, what is the architecture and how this tool looks like, okay? And I created a separate video for Informatica Data Director as well. So yeah, I think I will finish the session here. Yeah, so this is the end of the session. So I hope you enjoyed this session and thank you very much for joining, and please check out the next videos as well. Thank you very much.